Good afternoon, Facebook friends and family. I am Ayris Scales, the Executive Director of Mayor Bowser's Office on Volunteerism and Partnerships, also known as Serve DC. I am thrilled to be your host this Maternal Monday to really talk about some important things that are impacting as well as uplifting our mothers here in the nation's capital. For the final Maternal Monday of the year, we're going to focus on tangible, you hear that? Tangible resources for mothers of all ages and ways that you as viewers can play a role in ensuring that every district mom has what she needs, especially during this time. We know that this has been a difficult year for many. And as women, we are navigating so much. We're running households, we're working, we're still showing up to support the community, we're juggling a lot. And we know that mothers are really juggling a lot too. And so I'm thrilled to be able to really talk about how we support mothers, how we support our youth during this time. And we have some amazing women here to tell us all about it. And what's interesting, right? You think about when this pandemic first hit and everyone was running out, and this is crazy, swooping up and snatching up toilet paper. It was like you couldn't get toilet paper. But I also realized that there was a panic where people were buying formula and they were buying diapers and there were also shortages. And so we want to make sure as we get ready for this next wave that we are not in a panic mode, that there's no shortage of resources, that everyone has what they need to run their household safely and effectively. And so with that, and without further ado, I would love to turn it over to our experts who are going to be talking again about these tangible resources to share a little bit more. And so I'm joined today by Corinne Cannon, who's the Executive Director and founder of the Greater DC Diaper Bank, as well as Evelyn, oh my goodness, here we go, Asegieme, she's going to correct me, the social worker under our TAPP program in the Women and Infant Services Department. So please, let's start with you, Corinne. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Well, first of all, it's wonderful to kind of talk about this issue with all of you and to have this platform to discuss these very important things. I always think about these are the little things, these little tangible things that make a world of difference for our families. I am the founder of the organization. I started it when I had my first baby, who is now 11, so he's not so much a baby. But what we do is we are trying to provide a reliable source of diapers, but period products, incontinence supplies, hygiene items to economically vulnerable families. And the way we do it is we work through other partners, like the amazing folks at TAPP, to make sure that families are getting resources, physical, tangible resources, but they're also getting services at the same time. We work with now, with the pandemic, we work with about 70 organizations throughout the region. We are in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And what we're really trying to do is make sure that families have what they need to thrive. I know we'll get into a little more details of what that kind of talks about, but that's our ultimate goal, is that we want a mom or a dad or a grandparent, whoever is caring for that baby, to have what they need. And the reality is you need things when you have a baby. You need diapers, you need wipes, you need formula. These are not things that our children can go without.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Can't wait to talk a little bit more about how to access those things that our mothers and our families need. So go ahead, please, Evelyn, tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Yes, thank you again for having me on Maternal Mondays. I'm excited to be here, especially with talking with the founder, Ms. Corinne, and a little bit about the TAPP program. So TAPP stands for Teen Alliance for Prepared Parenting, and it's kind of in the name. We exist here to help teen parents prepare, not just to be parents, but to be individuals, pushing education, pushing finishing school. And part of that service is meeting with them mainly in the OBGYN clinic at MedStar Washington Hospital Center and offering ourselves as another form of support. They're ultimately coming for their medical appointment, their prenatal appointment, but then we kind of jump in as well and say, hey, we see that to your healthcare and to your growth as an individual and to your success, you may be facing some barriers. And here's how we can help. So I am a social worker, a part of the program, and we have social workers, behavioral health navigators who provide case management services to really meet with our individual moms, meet them where they are, assess them concerning their needs, and find some interventions and resources, which is why we're also linked with a DC Greater Diaper Bank. And we found that they are a resource, an outside resource to help our moms.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So you guys have already partnered together. You got a little history. Okay. Listen, I love to push all things partnerships, right? So when we talk about the work that you ladies are doing, and thank you so much in your organizations, can you share a little more? So for any viewer who is, trying to determine how they can access your services and bring their needs to you, how do they do that?
Yeah. So I'll jump in and start, Evelyn, and then toss it to you. I think there's two primary ways that families can access these services. The first way is through emergency diaper hubs. So when this pandemic began, we started 21 diaper hubs around the region. And what they are is they're partnerships with food banks and other emergency service providers where you can go and you can have your basic needs met. We started with diapers. A number of them now also have period products, and some of them even have incontinence supplies. So those are on our website. If you're greaterdcdiaperbank.org, you can click on and get help or programs, and you'll see a link to all of the diaper hubs. You can go there and get those resources. The other way that we're connected is through TAPP and other organizations like that in the city. They're ongoing community partnerships. So those partners are using diapers and other hygiene items and formula as a way to more deeply engage and support the families that they're serving. So those diapers are going to kind of ongoing clients. For emergency needs, the diaper hubs are the best bet.
And for the TAPP program, as far as people utilizing our services, we automatically support every teen mom who is receiving prenatal care in the OBGYN clinic at MedStar Washington Hospital Center. So as soon as you come in for your first appointment, we're automatically trying to meet with you and to really sit down and speak with you about your needs.
That's fantastic. I love that automatic. It takes the overthinking out. It takes the having to research and figure it out. So I could imagine, given the state of, our economy and kind of social conditions right now, that there have been some things that you've had to do to pivot in terms of maybe services or programming or outreach. Can you share a little bit about what may look different for you all now during this time and how you're keeping it going?
Yeah, so I think it's a arena now, right? So I'm not pivoting. I'm just going in circles all the time, right? When this first started, one of the things that we realized was that the need for these products was going to skyrocket. So one of the first things that I did, and this was done like on March 13th, was I reached out to our wholesaler and I said, I need 1 million diapers and I need them as soon as you can get them to me. And kind of from that, we had all of our partners calling us and saying, we need product, and we need it now. We opened up these diaper hubs and we have been pushing items out to families as fast as we can get them in. We used to keep about a 3 to 4 month supply in inventory. Diapers now come in and they go right back out the door after we've processed them and got them in inventory. To give you kind of an idea of the scale that we're talking about, we're now distributing over 500,000 diapers a month. And that's an increase of about 60% from pre-pandemic levels, right? I think there's been some really phenomenal things about being in this community and working deeply with so many of these partners, the level of trust that we have with them, of being able to call someone and say, tell me what you're doing. Here's what we think folks need. Tell us if that's what you need and tell us how we can work together. We got, of those 21 hubs, we had 5 of them up in 2 weeks. And that speaks to the commitment of the nonprofit sector. It speaks to organizations like TAPP saying, you know, we're throwing out what we thought we were going to do, and we're doing what we need to do right now. So our dance continues. We're we're trying to figure out right now which of those 21 hubs are we're going to be able to maintain in 2021, which organizations have capacity to continue to work with us, and what inventory we're going to have to keep those going.
Yeah, that's impressive. It is really, I've been blown away by how much we are able to pivot and switch so quickly, right? I feel like before the pandemic, we would think through things, we would strategize, we would plan, which is all great. But I think what we've learned is that we can move forward faster and still also be effective and responsive. Evelyn, how about you? Are there some things that you guys have had to change in terms of service delivery or outreach?
Well, I can definitely concerning, our partnership with the Diaper Bank. One thing I love about them is that as soon as COVID hit, they said, give more diapers. And that's that was amazing, because patients have actually been coming more and more consistently. I know personally, I have a mom of triplets. She's so consistent, and it's just been a joy to give her what she needs. I can definitely attest that that's how we've been able to pivot as far as pushing the Diaper Bank even more. Another couple of things that has happened is that we used to provide group prenatal education and care. And of course, in March, that had to change. We're looking to get back into group care as we figure out different restrictions and safety precautions. But pretty much just as the hospital has continued to go, just as women are, still needing prenatal care, we've continued to push through for our patients and just, switching out different procedures such as wearing the proper PPE or things like that. But yeah, it's definitely been a pivot, but we've definitely been resilient to continue to meet the need that's evidently still there for teen moms.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So,
I just gotta say, Evelyn, that makes my heart sing. I'm sorry. I have to say,
no,
it makes my heart sing. Because, so much of when people hear about the work that we're doing, a lot of times they think, oh, that's adorable that you're helping moms and babies. And that's not what this is. And what you just said about you seeing more moms more consistently, that is the key here. And that's why these tangible items are like silver bullets, right? They get at something very different than just the relationship, right? You're seeing the mom and you're giving her what she needs. You're providing her, she's being seen and being seen in a different way. And I think that consistency of relationship is key to our work and key to your work and key to that mom knowing that if something comes up, I can go to Evelyn. Evelyn was there when I needed her and she got me what I needed. If I've got a problem, I can go to TAPP and they're going to support me and they're going to help me. And so I just thank you for sharing that. It makes my heart sing that this program is working and that it's helping families the way that it needs to be. And when we started this, I think people thought I was crazy, to be perfectly honest. They were like, diapers, what are you talking about? But women understand that these things, they are what make a life. A clean diaper on a baby who's not crying, the formula that my baby likes, not the kind that I've been given, but the formula that my baby actually needs. The period products that I want to use, not what I've been told to use or I should use or is available. But I think it's really important that we are making sure that families, particularly now when the strain of this pandemic is so massive, have what they need and what they want.
That's right. Absolutely. No, so fair. I mean, you guys have definitely made a case for why these services are important and how you're providing these services to support our mothers and families during this time. I would not be doing my job as the Chief Service Officer if I didn't ask, how can we, viewers who are here and participating, support your efforts? Do you have volunteer opportunities, board member opportunities? You're taking donations? Share with us how we can support you.
I love how you teed that up. There's so many ways that you can support us. One of the biggest ways you can support us is through your dollars. And I know end of year giving is something in a lot of people's mind right now. We wholesale purchase products, so the dollar you give us, we can make it go a whole lot further. There's also ways that you can get involved helping from home. We're about to launch a helping from home kit creation project for families to do. So we'll be sharing that in our social media soon. We're also going to do a holiday drive-through drive. So drive through at our warehouse and drop off items. So we'll be launching that on Monday. So we'll share, we'll share a little bit more about that. But I think one of the biggest ways that you can help us, if you don't have the dollars to give or you don't have the time for kits, is to share our work. So be a voice for families and be a voice for the needs of economically vulnerable families right now in particular.
Fantastic. Evelyn?
Yeah, two things come to mind immediately, and it's number one, come and get your prenatal care at the OBGYN clinic at MedStar. We are here for the community, and I've heard so many amazing things of patients really liking the fact that they can come to a medical appointment and then meet with social workers and mental health staff. And then another thing I would say is kind of like how Corinne mentioned as far as being a voice. I think one thing, no matter what your individual focus or calling is, to just keep in mind the generation coming after us, the teens in our community, and doing your part to make sure that they're successful individuals and parents. And I think pushing back the hearts of people, one person at a time. But yeah.
I love it. And real quick, because we are coming to the end, we can talk about diapers and babies and families all day, but we know we have the work to get back to. Tell us quickly, what's your social media handles, or where can people find you online?
You can find us at Diaper Bank is our handle on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. So we're there waiting for you.
DC Diaper Bank, okay.
And then for TAPP, you can find us under the Women Infant Services Department on MedStar Washington Hospital's website.
Fantastic. Well, ladies, I have to thank you both for joining us on this segment of Maternal Monday. Again, we were saying, basic needs, which really aren't so basic because we are talking about the livelihood and health and sustainability of our future generations and helping mothers as they navigate through this time. I don't think people really understand, financially, how much women care products, diapers, formula can be on a family. And when you have families who are really vulnerable and even having additional economic hardships, what you're bringing to the table, I can only imagine how appreciative of those who are being served and supported by you are, and really helping to make sure that dollars go a little bit further. And to our audience, I just want to say thank you for being a part of another Maternal Monday. These segments are brought to you in partnership by the Mayor's Office of Women Policy and Initiatives, who I absolutely love the work that they are doing, and Thrive by Five, who's also phenomenal doing work here in the administration. So tune in on the first Monday of every month at 4 p.m. right here on Mayor Bowser's Mom Health DC Facebook page. And to learn of other ways that you can volunteer and serve organizations like these and others in the district, I encourage you to follow us at Serve DC on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Serve DC. We have a portal as well where we like to promote volunteer opportunities and partnership opportunities for the district. And to learn about more of the Mayor's Office of Women Policy and Initiatives events and activities, make sure that you are following them as well. So you got a lot of us to go follow. So just sit on your computer right now or your phone and go follow all of us. But you can follow Milwaukee at DCMOWPI and at Mom Health DC. So until next time, we will see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Director Porter and team, for allowing me to host today's Maternal Monday.
Bye, guys.